Okay, good morning. Welcome to London. I hope you're doing well. Today is Friday, NFP, and yeah, the market is up on us again. All right, so let's see what the market is all about. We always start with the dollar index as usual. Okay, so looking at the dollar index, right? We have price continue going up as I mentioned on Wednesday. um, I said that we will be looking for 108, almost there. So let's go over here, let's go to the monthly chart, and actually it was the yearly chart. So we are looking at this level here. Okay, so 108.08, that's the draw on liquidity. And drop back down to the monthly. Okay, so there we are, and we are almost there. I think NFP will likely hit that, and then we will see what will unfold after. Okay. Euro, I did mention that we will likely see price trade to this level, which is the 127 of the movement up here, right there. Okay, 127 of that movement, and also I gave another level using this in case they go crazy. We can also use that as the potential level that they can go to, right? But looking at it right now, I think we are heading forwards towards parity, which is 1 to 1. Okay, $1 equals €1. That is crazy, but it is what it is. So I think the next down movement will be $1 equals €1. Now, since I started trading, we've never been here before. So we are currently trading in we are currently trading at levels that I have not seen before. Okay, so I don't have any experience at this level. There you go. So that will be the next draw on liquidity. Like I said, these are levels that I've not seen before. So how we trade when price gets there, I have no idea. All right, but looking at what the dollar is doing, that level might likely be the next draw on liquidity. All right, so there you go. British pound. Now, yesterday we had British pound form a swing low in here, right? So I was using the 1 hour time frame somewhere in here, right, as a buy this morning to form the low of the day and then go up, whilst they carry the euro pound down again, but that wasn't the case. But because we've broken market structure on the H4, I don't think pound is going to drop down here, which is why I'm thinking that there's going to be one more push to the upside, and then we might see a rejection. So going into next week, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Once price hits 108, I will anticipate some kind of a rejection. Now we've had three areas of accumulation on the H4, this being the consolidation, accumulation, one more accumulation in here, and then one accumulation in there. So one more push, and then I will anticipate some kind of a reversal. So we might be seeing some kind of a divergence on the market. You can see that British pound is not going down, euro is dropping, New Zealand is not going down, Aussie is not going down, right? So there's kind of some kind of divergence in the market. So the rally that is happening on dollar right now, I think is fake, right? But that's my opinion for now. I think it's fake. It might reject and come back down with the seasonal tendency, and at the same time trading at that crazy 12-hour order block, 12 months order block in here, right? So you can look at this. Price goes up, comes down, and we come back up to that level. Okay, so let me see, 1 2 3 4 5 6 7. Yeah, in January. Yeah, I started trading in here. So 1 2 3 4 5 6 7, 7 years, 8 years, right? 8 years, and all that price action was just in the consolidation, but we've pumped up into that. So I think that's where we might reach, and then we might see price reject. So anticipate something like that. Dollar CAD, this one, it's also being held, so there's really some strength in CAD at the moment because this pair is showing it. Dollar going up, this was supposed to be up here by now, but that is also being held. Yes, I do agree with that. The fundamentals are um, in control. However, technically, we don't ignore that, right? Because it'll be one thing, fundamentals trading down here, and then another thing, fundamentals trading up here. Okay, it's similar to right there. If price was going up at the time, fundamentals might say yes, they might go up, but then what happened is price rejected. So yes, I'm all for fundamentals being the main driver, but when price trades to certain levels, you have to take note of the levels, and then maybe fundamentals can change. Okay, so if we do hit that level and nothing happens, obviously for now, right? And this is the good thing about how we trade. We don't look for reversals, right? We anticipate them, but we go with the flow. So if you've noticed, we've not changed our bias since we popped up, right? We've maintaining price going up, and we've been maintaining price going down on the foreign currencies. That's the way to do it. And then once we hit the level and we take that first hit, because you're gonna still stick with being bullish, you're gonna get stopped out at some point, and then once you get stopped out, it's gonna give you an indication, right? That price might reject. I do see it, but looking at how the they've held Aussie, New Zealand, and pound. Look at the monthly chart. Oops, that's meant to be there. 1 hour. Look at the monthly chart and then see where we are currently trading at. Okay, we are trading inside this breaker with a fair value gap, and we traded to the main threshold. So it's understandable to see some level of consolidation or maybe a pop. With the rate announcement coming today, right? If we get dollar to push up, I think they might run it down aggressively to attack that, so it can catch up with what the euro has done and what the British pound has done, right? So I'll look for yesterday. I think you remember I told you to look at the breaker, and then if the breaker gets hit, then you can anticipate some kind of a sell-off, because yesterday they did run me out in here. Okay, and I told you to look at the breaker, because once they trade to the breaker, right, relative to that range that we had, right, price might reject and come down, and that's what you're seeing. So when the news hit from when the news hit from rate announcement, I think they might aggressively run for the equal lows. Okay, especially with that swing high formed in there, I think it might aggressively run for the equal lows, and then after that it might turn around. Okay, because the way it's going down, right, notice that there's going to be nothing in here in terms of gaps to be filled, right? The only gap that I can see right now is all the way up here. That's where I can see a gap. So if they send it down aggressively and we see a rejection, right, then it gives us the opportunity to target these for the seasonal trade. All right, so you know, just be patient. Let me take you to a trade that I think you should be participating in. CAD. I just told you that CAD has got strength, and I also showed you, based on the futures market, that the Swiss has taken out a previous month high and is gonna go down, whilst the CAD has taken a previous month low and is gonna either go up or consolidate. That gives you CAD Swiss, right? So CAD Swiss should by default see a movement up, and if you look at current price action on the daily time frame, you have such a void in here, so I think that void will be closed in. Okay, they might use that to close the void in. So I've managed to get myself long. I think last week we did get a long down here, and we took the trade. Everything was done up here, right? But today I have got another long, because I think we are going to continue going up to close in this void. Okay, so that's a trade that you can participate in. Stop loss is going to be below this low here. All right, stop loss is below this low here, and then you can continue buying. Right, so yeah, that's the business. Let me hide my trading system. Okay, so that's what I'll be looking for on this pair. And then the Swiss yen, you can see that's also doing amazing. We talked about this, right, that this is also a big market maker sell model, and we're gonna trade down to this high. and that's what it's doing. I actually caught a sell yesterday inside this fair value gap. Initially I wanted to see if they might come up in here for next week, but yesterday it did run previous day's high right there. So previous day high ran into this gap, into previous area of what, accumulation, and then I did not sell until price broke down. Okay, I'm not looking to be taking Instagram trades, right, with 1 pip stop loss and stuff like that. I waited for price to break down, and then during the New York session it pulled back to this fair value gap, and then I sold short. And I think someone asked me, where is your stop loss? And I said, on the 15 minutes time frame, I gave them this high because I didn't believe that price should go above that high. Why? Because we are bearish, so price should respect the up candle. So if it goes up, this up candle should not be violated. So that's why I left my stop loss, and my target was right here, and everything was clean out like 8:30. I took my son to school. When I was about to take my son to school, that's when all my TP was hit. But I think I should have left something on, because I think we will be drawing to that high. We will be drawing to that high, right? So I'll try and see if I can find another entry. It's not going to be easy because it's bearish, and most of the time if it's bearish like that, it's just gonna continue going down. Another trade that I was looking at is this one. We've taken our previous day's high and price has rejected. Now if it pulls back, it's going to be similar to what I just showed you on the Swiss, right? Price is bearish, right? And then we've run previous day's high, so any pullback into the imbalance, right, it's gonna cause price to drop. I like this void to be closed in, and then maybe this equal low. The monthly low is right here. That's monthly low. That's my draw on liquidity going forward. Oops. That's my draw on liquidity going forward. So if this pulls back, use optimal trade entry, and then hunt for a potential sell up in here. Alright, let me use the OTE. Alright, so 50% is fine. I think we do have a breaker here, so I'll use that 50% for the sell, leave my stop loss above the gap, and then expect price to run down to attack this low as partial, that low, and then obviously continuation. The main target is going to be down here, but you're not going to be holding just that trade to go all the way down there. Okay, it might pull back, it might get some pullbacks, and then you can get more entries. Not just that, you can take everything off here and then wait for another setup to form. All right, same thing applies to Euro Aussie. You can look for a sell on that one. The market is really bearish on that, so that low is going to be taken, and price might draw into the monthly low. Yep, that one there. So yeah, look for a sell in New York session, to send price to that low. All right, so if it pulls back, just find yourself an entry, use that high as your stop, and then continue going down. But today is Friday, so be aware that once they run this low, price might reject. Okay, so don't look beyond that low. We also have a last down candle in here, so it might hit that. They did run stop here, so it might hit this and then reject. So don't look further than this low as your target. What else? Let's go to S&P 500. So S&P, I think is gonna run this high, this equal high. That's what I'm thinking. It might run this equal high with the news event with NFP. Looking at how the daily is moving, that's what I think price might do. So look for a run above those equal high. They did manage to close above the imbalance. They closed above it, so I'll look for a run for the equal high. All right, and you can use that same kind of analysis for Nasdaq. Nasdaq also went above the imbalance, so the next draw is this equal high. I think I mentioned that on Wednesday. On Wednesday I said that look for a run for this equal high. US 30, I'd said leave this one alone because it has the run above this high before they move down. So notice that the imbalance is still being respected. So leave this bad boy alone and focus on these two. All right, yeah, let's go back to here and let's talk about oil. So oil, yesterday we had price pump up, right? It's come back above the monthly low. Now my indicator is not showing me, okay, it is, right? It's showing me a swing low. So it could mean two things, right? It could mean one, we can, right, pump up and close in this gap, or two, it's going to retrace because we've hit the mean threshold of the gap. So what I am actually doing on oil today is waiting to see what New York session is going to print, and I'll trade it on Monday because this is a gap, right? It's bearish. I'm not saying it's bullish, it's bearish. So I'm not in the market to call this a low to go up, but I'm in there to call this a retracement to continue going down. So if that would be the case, that is going to happen on Monday or Tuesday, not today. Today what can happen is they might, as you can see, trade back into this, or they can close in this void, but I don't want to see that, not today. They can trade back to this breaker, this up candle here, right? And then maybe push a little bit into the range, or this high to that low, trade into OTE. So somewhere in here. So I like this down candle, right? You might trade into that, and then next week we'll see a continuation to the downside. So if I do get a buy opportunity today, I will buy it, because currently, right, this big push up, it's a sign of maybe a bigger retracement or a deep retracement. So if I do get a buy scenario somewhere down here, somewhere in here, that's the breaker on the H4, right? This up candle, move down, up, that from anywhere in there, if I on the lower time frame during the New York session, if I do see any kind of a something like this, right, on the 15 minutes time frame, I'll buy it, and I'll be targeting up in here. Okay, and then next week I'll hunt for a continuation to the downside, because I want to follow the flow of the daily. Okay, so that's oil. Let's go and look at gold. I think gold, the next draw is 1721. I'm looking for 1721 as the next draw on liquidity. Is this candle's low? We also have equal lows down here, right? It's not far away, this one, right? And it looks interesting, so they might aggressively go for that, and then after they go for this, maybe a seasonal low might form. You never know. At the same time, if you go onto the 3 months time frame, that will be a very good level for them to scoop the buy. Now, if you've I don't know if you viewers do have seasonal tendency, or if you have considered why gold actually goes up in July. Is because right now gold is really cheap, right? Looking at the price compared to, I don't know, the last 3 years, gold is cheap. So any company out there that wants to build stuff for Christmas, okay, any company that wants to build stuff, any company that uses gold to do stuff, right, for Christmas or Thanksgiving, November, December, they are gonna start buying now. Okay, so that's why gold goes up during the July, August, September period, because they will be buying gold, and that will cause gold to rally. So most of the time you will see gold dropping between May, June, July, or mostly June towards the beginning of July. Gold will be dropping so that it becomes cheaper for them to buy it up again. Okay, so I'm looking at this low now as the next draw. It's actually consolidating. It should just dump. Right, I have a short with a stop above this high. I sold yesterday in here, drop down to the 15 and there, right in here. So I saw that small little gap there, and I left my stop loss above after they run this high, okay, and then broke down that little gap there and sold that. So my stop is there, and I'm looking for a run up below this low, but obviously I was going to take some partial below this, but you can see they're playing with me. But you know, they're gonna drop it, or the algorithm will drop it. So I'm looking for 1721.63, and if we do get aggressive, then 1274, and then maybe they go lows down here. But for now, I'm looking at this and that as the nearest, easiest target for price to reach. All right. So that's gold. Bitcoin and Ethereum. Let's have a look at those two bad boys. Okay, they have taken out a previous week high. Okay, they've taken out a previous week high, and so far it's rejecting. Now the way I trade it is that if they go for these kind of levels, previous week's highs or previous week low, they need to break market structure. So do they go below this low and stay there? If they do, I think we might get a rejection to come back down again. If they go below that low and then it quickly rejects, then we might get maybe projecting this to that, because that's a down candle, by the way. We might get a move to 618. So somewhere here, we might get a move to that level. Okay, that's if they are able to stay not close below that low, especially this last up candle on the H4. Then it might, if they don't close below that up candle there, then I think we might see price push up, all right, to 168, which is this gap right here. Now if you go back and watch some of the previous sessions that I've done, I'll talk about this unique price action, okay, where we have one red candle showing that price wanted to go lower, and then straight away you get another green candle, right? Obviously this candle has not closed yet, so we cannot call it a green candle, but watch it and see by the end of the week, do we stay like this? Because if we stay like this, this is bullish. We might see price go up a little bit more than the 618 that I projected. It might probably go back to this low here. Okay, so watch it and see, does it stay like this by the end of the week, or does it reject? If it does reject, then obviously, like I said, they might be coming back down again. Okay, but if they don't reject, then look at this as your next draw on liquidity, and then you can buy. There's a guy that I kind of help privately. He does just cryptos, and I've given him just one entry pattern, just trade OTEs. So anytime we are bullish, he's just gonna trade OTEs. And yesterday he did send me an image of a trade that he took. Absolutely beautiful. If you're watching, well done. Was it yesterday? Yep. And I'm gonna show you guys the trade that he sent me. That's the trade that he took on a 15 minutes time frame, and it's on what was the pair again? I'll check the pair, but absolutely beautiful entry, and off it went. The pair is AVAX 15 minutes chart. Yesterday I actually went and looked at it. That's that trade there, right there, and then it just flew off, right? So with the direction that I gave, right, he managed to get that trade. Okay, and that's the benefit of, you know, understanding what I give to you guys. I give you the direction, and then you go in and use whatever entry technique that you use that to trade it. Same thing with Ethereum, right? Let me zoom in right here. We didn't get a close below that, so we don't have that same scenario on this, unfortunately. So the best one to focus on would be the BTC, because that has given you clear indication what the high time frame wants to do, right? And then just leave that one alone. If you do trade other cryptos, which, you know, I don't look at them, but the same price action analysis can be found on all these pairs. That was a price coming back to fill this gap, price rejects, takes out previous week's low, price rejects, and then comes right back up again, right? And if you are a buyer, you look for OTEs in here, or if you like order blocks, you buy order blocks in here. If you trade gaps, you buy gaps in here. Okay. All right, so that is that on these. I didn't talk about Euro Pound. So Euro Pound, actually, I think we did run previous month low here, there, right? And yesterday I gave to my guys that, you know, we have a down candle, we have a gap, and then on the lower time frame there's an order block here, so you can place a buy limit with a stop below that and look for price to reject. Now how far it's going to go is going to be how we trade through that low. So back to this low here, like how we trade there would give us more, it'll give us more on where they can potentially take price. So if they go above it aggressively, if they trade above it, then we might look at 50% of that range. All right, if they go above that, then we'll be looking at 50% of that range as a draw on liquidity. Okay, so yeah, on the 1 hour it's gonna create an order block here. All right, so if you do fancy it, In the morning, I saw it and I posted it in obviously my the private group chat. I didn't post it in the landing session. I think I should have, because that would have given anyone that was in there an opportunity to catch this. But it's okay. I've given you most of the directions, so you'll be good. All right. So I think they might trade first of all to that old low, which is this one, right? And then how we trade above that is gonna give what price is gonna do next, right? So watch that, and then if they go above it aggressively on the H4, wait for H4 candle to open. It's gonna drop down a little bit, and then you buy it. So you're gonna be buying something like this. Okay, so if they go above that high, that level on a H4 candle, notice how these H4s, it opens, it goes up, it drops, it opens, it goes up. So when it opens and is going up, you sell. Same thing here. When they go above it aggressively, wait for H4 candle to open, and then as it's trading down, you buy that, and then target the 50%, right? The 50% of the range that I drew from this high to that low. You can also target the breaker, this down candle, high, higher high, break that down candle there. You can use that also as a target. That's if we go above this high, because it's an old low, it can reject price. Okay, so pretty much that is all I have for today. I'm gonna wait till New York session 1:30 NFP, and then I'll see what I'll get in terms of price action. Then yeah, I'll move from there. But if it doesn't give me anything, then I'll have to wait till Monday. So if you have any question, feel free to ask. If not, then I will end the session, because I have to go and pick up the head of the house. I have to go and pick up the HOD, head of department. Any questions? Any questions? Let me look at these. No problem. No problem. All right, guys. I'll touch base with you Wednesday, right? I'll touch base with you Wednesday because Mondays is my off day as of now. I want to take Monday off and chill, and then I will come back on Wednesday. So, um, but if you do have any question, if you are not in the Telegram, I'm gonna make it so that people can talk, but don't abuse it. Because if you start abusing it, then I'll just make it read only. Okay, so I'm gonna send the link again, and then I'll make it available for you guys to communicate in there. But if I see too many unnecessary posts, then I'm gonna close it down. And I'm not close it down, but I will. How do I do this? I'm still a noob when it comes to these things. Let's see. I don't know how to do this. Alright, I'm gonna share the link here. Right, for those of you that are not in that group, you can use that to join, and then I will make it that you guys can talk. I need help. I don't know how to do it. When it comes to stuff like this, I'm like, okay, permission. Okay, I've allowed. There you go. I've allowed for you guys to be able to send messages. So if you do have any message, right? Because I'll not be doing session on Mondays, right? Maybe the gap might be huge. So if you have any question, then you can send me a message in there regarding anything, and then I'll reply. If you have a private question, then send it to me privately, and that also is this. Right, that's the private one, that's my personal one. you can send you a message. Right? So that's it from me, guys. I will touch base with you next week. Until then, stay safe, and I will see you guys soon. Take care.